All right, let's go ahead and get started, you guys. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys. Allow recording. Yes, Caesar, I will allow you to record. So I'm excited. I'm full of energy, full of passion. I'm ready to go full tilt today. And I am tremendously, tremendously grateful for each of you guys. And I don't know if I tell you that enough, but let me just express gratitude for you guys to be here, because there's other things that you can be doing, but you choose to spend some time with me and your brothers and sisters. And I do not take that lightly. So I just want to send a huge message of gratitude to everybody on this call. We have guests on the line here that are local. We have guests on the line here that are from different states. And so I want to welcome everybody. This is Keep It Moving Group Coaching. We believe in the collective wisdom and growing as a group. So thank you. And my hope is that everyone on this call always takes at least one thing that they can apply in their life and business. So let's do this. I'm going to go over to Miss Griselda. Griselda, I feel like I just saw you. We were here for an amazing event last night, learning about investments, 1031 exchanges, and house hacking, which was a really good session. But Griselda, you always do a really good job at this. And we recorded this video a couple of weeks ago. I think she's trying to get the baby to be quiet. But should I come to, I'll go to somebody else. I'll go to somebody else because she is dealing with baby. I'm actually going to go to Melissa. Melissa, I'm going to have you, yes. I'm going to have you bring us out on the field on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. And you know what that's like. You know what that should feel like. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Melissa. No pressure, though. None at all. Go ahead and do your thing.
I should have planned for this moment, but hi, everybody. Welcome to Elias Coaching on Friday morning. And we, I'm not really a good rah-rah person, but I do want to say thank you to Elias, because he's given us this amazing opportunity to connect and hear his words of wisdom 3 days a week. That's so much time. So I feel like this is always a good start to any workday. So thank you, Elias, and everybody go and have a great Friday.
Well, I appreciate it. And it's nothing without you guys. I feel like I'm the moderator and to ask you guys questions and challenge thoughts. So I appreciate you guys. So let's do this. We're going to get into some things right now. In 2 months, so about 2 months, what season are we walking into that we all kind of dread this time of year? What season are we walking into?
My birthday.
So, what did you say? I didn't hear what you said, Nicole.
Her birthday.
Oh, no, not that season. We don't hate your birthday. What's another season that starts with a T that we might hate?
Tax season. Taxes.
Tax season. All right, cool. So here's what I want you guys to think of. Obviously, start that conversation. Make sure to have all of your things in alignment, because it's super important. If you guys are making a certain amount of money, you may want to open an S Corp and pay yourself as an employee. I started doing that last year, and I also have a bookkeeper. My bookkeeper, I send her all of my financials every single month. That way she keeps an accurate log of all the things that I am doing. And so I'm very, very particular with that now. I pay her. It makes sense for me. She does everything. She files everything for me. But anyways, this is the time where you are going to start auditing. But what I want you to do is I want to start auditing what you've done in this year. It's 2023. We're at March 3rd already, and it's crazy to think that we're this far into the year. But I wanted to ask you guys before we get started with the conversation for today, and my question is, are you buying what you are selling? And I'm not talking about real estate. And here's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your bullshit. And I want to be real as penitentiary steel with everybody on this call right now. Are you buying what you are selling right now? And are you buying your own bullshit? Or are you buying into the fact that, you know what, I'm stepping up, I'm doing the things, I'm taking action? Or are you buying your own bullshit? Because listen, I'm not going to hear your bullshit. Kenny's not going to hear your bullshit. You got to live with that bullshit. Your family's got to live with that bullshit. So you got to ask yourself, am I buying my own bullshit? Am I making excuses? Am I stacking excuses for all the things that I know that I need to do, but I don't do it because I sell myself on the reasons why I should not be doing it? I wrote that down. I just wanted to ask you guys, are you buying your own bullshit this morning? And if you are, then it's time to make a change. And I want to do a quick audit with everybody right now. Like I said, I'm going to encourage everyone to get a pin out. And if you are driving, then just come back and watch this recording. Here's what I want to do is I want to share a couple winners for our Hustlers Lunch. So what we did is we announced this morning Hustlers Lunch. And what the Hustlers Lunch is, it's people that have truly, truly been crushing it in the way that they track their business in Sisu. So what I did is I categorized it by days that they track, hours working in their business, appointments set, hours working on their business, and the amount of conversations that these people are having. And as a result, we stacked that from January and February, and the top in each category is going on a super cool lunch with us on Monday in Hayward. So the point is that when you look at this and you look back at these people, some of these people's business has just blown up. And I'm just going to use Cynthia as an example. And I'm not sure if Cynthia's on the call today, but I want to share this with you guys. So I look back, we're not going to go too far into this, but I want you guys to take a quick look at this. Since the beginning of the year, Cynthia has had, and this is from the first until today, she's had 243 conversations that she can track, that she can look back at, and that she can measure. Now, knowing Cynthia, this is nowhere where she wants to be. However, she's able to go back and look. Here's what Cynthia told me last year, mid-year. She says, Elias, I will be a top producer in this company. When you guys came to our award ceremony, was Cynthia named as the top producer? Absolutely. She was the top producer for Walnut Creek office, which is a huge, huge accomplishment. However, she made some changes in her business that have been monumental. And one of the things that she did is she got really, really fine-tuned with how she tracks and measures her business. So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to do a personal audit today, and maybe you link up with an accountability homie and you just write this down. You get very, very clear on a few things. I want you guys to ask yourself and write this down, or like I said, if you're driving, come back to this. How many videos have you made this year? Or are you that person that every time you talk to somebody about social media, be like, this comes out of your mouth? Oh yeah, I need to work on my social media. Yeah, I've been thinking about creating content. Oh, you guys are so good at that. I couldn't do that, but yeah, I definitely need to. Is that what's coming out of your mouth? So think about this. How many videos have you actually made in 2023? How many calls on an average are you making daily? When you think about, like, am I actually doing reach out? Am I calling people? And we had this conversation the other day. We were in Brentwood. I don't know who said it. They're like, I don't want to bother people. You're only bothering people. And Ernesto said this really good last week. You're only bothering people if you don't have something of value when you're actually calling them. I'm really excited about making this call, Brenda, because I have something of value to give to you. That's why I'm so excited about making this call. So how many calls have I made? How many conversations have you made this year alone? If you look back and you say, God, I've had an average of 6 conversations every single day. I have so much great momentum right now. And I know it's just a matter of time. Things are going to pop off. So stay with me. How many appointments have you gone on this year? Do you remember the last time you went on an appointment? Was it yesterday? Is it this afternoon? Can you go back and look at all the appointments that you've gone on? What's been your conversion? Meaning, if you've gone on X amount of appointments, what does it take for you to get somebody to write an offer? And then for the offers written, how many have you gotten accepted? Dive deep into this. How many doors have you knocked on this year alone? Is that number in the thousands? Is that number in the hundreds? Or is that number non-existent because you're still waiting for the mood to be right? Or you're still scared of, I don't know what to say. Or you're still fearful that I don't want to go to the door alone as a woman. I understand that. Partner up with somebody on the team, because there's tons of people that'll go out there and hit the neighborhoods with you. How many times have you worked out this year? Right? Start auditing yourself. How many times have you actually worked out, worked on your fitness, worked on your mind, worked on your body? Do you like the person that you're looking at in the mirror? Or is there some things that you would like to improve upon? How many times have you been hungover this year? Yeah, if you're hungover, it takes us a few days to recover. And now all we're doing is playing catch up and trying to repair the shit that we put into our body the day before. Now, I am a different breed. I am not the moderate drinker. This is why I do not drink, because I cannot drink like some of you guys. Have fun, put it away. I am full tilt. So my situation is very, very different than your guys. I never will judge you for the fact that you do drink. If it is unhealthy, then we can have a conversation and I'll give you my experience only, but it was never rooted in judgment. How many open houses have you done this year? Open houses are your direct line to active buyers right now. You're hosting an open house. Wonderful. Did you see our sign or did you find us online? come on in, and I have some details about the house that you can't see. Just make sure to come back to the living room when you're done. How many open houses have you done? Keep going with me. How many new people have you added into your CRM this year? Is it 10? Is it 100? Is it 1,000? Is it none? Does it not exist because your CRM is not working for you because you're not using it? So how many new people have you added into your CRM? Is that active? Is that vibrant? Can you see based on the activity, well, ooh, I am right on track. I am doing a really good job. Or I don't even remember the last time that I took these clients that I have on a piece of paper and put them into a system where now I could see some automation behaviors from my consumers. Do I know that? Last but not least, I want you to ask yourself, how many excuses have you made this year? Has there been an excuse why you haven't showed up on camera? Has there been an excuse of why you didn't make the calls, why you didn't knock on the doors, why you didn't do the open houses, why you didn't create content, why you didn't go to that event? How many excuses have you stacked up? And are you putting yourself into a trend, into a pattern, into a habit of, man, I'm constantly letting myself down. And then, oh my God, why the fuck am I even doing this business? Right? You're constantly, perpetually letting yourself down because you say you're going to do these things, you don't do them. And so you're continuously knocking your esteem down. So I want you guys to do an audit of yourself right now, of your activities and your behaviors. And if you don't like where you're at, well, guess what? I'm not going to control that for you. I'm going to give you some recommendations and some advice. You got to control that. You got to control that narrative. So as we're auditing our finances this time of year, as we're getting everything ready to prep and prepare to give to our CPA or to get ready to go into the place, I want you to start doing an audit of your activities this year. And what is the audit? What does that audit say about you thus far? We've said this time and time again. Are you in repair mode, meaning repairing all the shit that you didn't do yesterday? Or are you preparing for the new day ahead about all the things that you're going to accomplish right now? So I want you guys to get real with yourself. Pick a homie. Be like, hey, Mark, Mauricio, I want to get together with you. Jackie, Colette, I want to get together. Maria, Johnny, I want to get together. Let's just start to unpack some of this. Start to unpack this because you're either buying what you're selling, which is either bullshit, or it's all the positive things that you're putting and all the positive actions that you're creating in your life. You guys, I'm going to highly recommend that you guys get on some cool podcasts. There's tons of recommendations. I've been listening to a lot of Ed Milet lately when I drive. Really powerful. So whatever you're finding to give you that inspiration to go and take the action, cool. Continue to share that, continue to listen, continue to feed your mind. So that's my thoughts. That's my sentiment. I'm going to turn it over to you guys. But while we're on that, based on the questions that I just asked you guys, I want to hear any thoughts, any insight, any where your guys' mind is right now, any epiphanies, any ahas. Is there something that said, you son of a bitch, Elias, I knew that you were going to spark something in me. Anything going on right now that you guys want to share before we go into who took massive action in this last week? Anybody want to share? Anyone want to be vulnerable enough to share? I see Maria smiling and shining and shaking her head. Anybody want to chime in on this conversation? Nice. Let's hear it, big dog. And then Tony, we'll go to you.
All right. So since one of our last meetings that we had, you brought up something that really kind of like struck a nerve, and that was like, are you Shark Tank ready? And my business isn't Shark Tank ready. And so it was like, man, I got to start, tracking more stuff. And I've always been saying that. So yesterday I didn't plug it in, but I am starting to get more used to putting my numbers inside of Sisu, just to be able to start tracking with my tracking up with follow-up boss and everything like that. And so that's one of the things that I'm working on.
All right, so nice. Talk to us about this. When you say Shark Tank ready, for the people that don't know what that analogy is, tell me a little bit about that. I'm trying to find a plug.
Yeah, just knowing everything about my business, how I can be able to, present it, to be able to get that client or that, that investor, whoever it is, to be able to entrust them to my business. And if I'm not knowledgeable within the market, if I'm not doing things as far as tracking numbers within my business, as far as, like you said, videos made, conversations that I'm having, things to be able to give them confidence, to be able to put trust inside of me, it's it's kind of going, it's not going to work. They're going to kick me out, right? They're going to like, I'm going to get eaten up by the sharks. So Kevin, what's his name? Kevin, I forget what his last name is.
Kevin O'Leary, yeah, Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Good,
Mr.
man.
Wonderful. I don't want to get ate up.
Love the Shark Tank analogy, man. Good stuff. All right, let's go. I love this. I love that people are thinking. Tony Knott, let's hear from you, big dog. Rapid fire. What are your thoughts? What's your sentiment right now?
Well, I just wanted to share with everyone something that's been sort of eye-opening for me. Some people may know I'm not actually physically there right now. So really, all I'm working on is content as far as videos and cold calling. And I actually like cold calling because it's just this, 2 or 3 hour period where I can just sit down. I know there's nothing else I'm doing. And for me, I'm, because I'm not doing open houses, I'm not there to door knock and so on and so forth. I have a limited sort of, avenue for obtaining leads. So one thing I've done is I've just, got a hold of a skip trace list of homeowners, and I've just been calling, homeowners with the intent of seeing, if there's anything I can do to help, if they're looking to sell now or down the road, basically. The thing I wanted to share is I've been really surprised with some of the response I've received in the last, 5 weeks, especially because, most of those people are not going to sell, obviously. And a lot of times I just don't reach people, but I have had people say, hey, yeah, it's funny you called. We have thought about that, or for whatever the reason is. And so it's led to, me doing some CMAs and having those types of conversations. Surprisingly, I've even had people call me back or text me, through Follow-Up Boss and say, I heard your message. We're not thinking of selling, but I just talked to my neighbor, or my neighbor across the street is actually thinking about selling, or whatever the case is. But I just saying that because it's been a little bit eye-opening for me to get those types of responses. Of course, they're not the majority, but they're still, opening the door for, something potential down the road.
I love it. I love it. And he's not even here physically, and he's still trying to book appointments. So you guys, shout out to these people, a couple people that are going to be joining us this next week. George, Sam, Adrian, and Kosi, Dominique, Jackie, you're on the line today. These are people that have been tracking in their business, and they've been able to measure how well they've done because they're looking and they're tracking in Sisu. So I want to have that conversation in a couple minutes, but I want to go over to Joellen. Joellen, you had something you wanted to share, something that's popping off for you, some massive action that you've taken in this last week. Share what's working so we can learn and we can all apply what you were doing. And Tiger, I saw your hand up. I'll come to you in a moment, big dog.
So I'm super excited because I posted my listing yesterday on Nextdoor, some footage of me posting the coming soon. And then I made a note, hey neighbors, I have a new listing coming soon to the neighborhood. Let me know if you know anybody that's looking to buy. Let's pick your neighbor. And I got like 15 comments. I got DMs, and I have a buyer consultation with somebody tomorrow morning at 11.
Beautiful. All right. So let's ask a quick survey. That was okay. No worries, Tiger. Let's do a quick survey. How many people are in Nextdoor and creating and commenting and being a resource for other people? How many people are in Nextdoor right now? Just give me a reaction on the screen. All right. So
I don't even know these people.
All right, cool. So only a few, only a handful. So, all right. So talk to us a little bit more.
And also I have people that don't even know me on here saying, congratulations, Joellen, on your listing. I have one lady that knows me through the Rotary, congratulations. And people just started hearting it, loving it, and then saying, I'm interested, I know somebody. And then they started asking me privately, like, what's an assumable loan? How does that work? And then I got into let's get on the phone and let's have a conversation and see what we can do. And a lot of it is people who are actually looking for other people to move into the town. So what I think I'm going to become, I told my husband last night, I think I'm going to be known as the realtor that lets the neighbors know first. They get first dibs on the house before.
I love this. I absolutely love this. And Joellen, I know that you were door knocking. Was it yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
How many doors did you actually knock?
We did like 10 doors because it was a little hilly and stuff, but we had great conversations. So took my information. I exchanged information with another gentleman who needs to sell his mom's house. So it was just really good. And I'm going to go back this weekend.
All right, let's do a quick audit. On an average, how many conversations have you had this year?
Oh, God.
So many.
Oh, gosh. Probably. Well, I know for sure at least probably like 200 or more.
All right. And then how are you tracking right now? So you don't have to guess.
Well, I have it in my calendar and I'm trying to work on CSU, but I just, all my leads that are at the events every month, the open houses, all of that's tracked and it goes in my database.
Beautiful. How many new leads do you think you've added in your database this year alone?
200.
200.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. If you guys want to stop making cold calls, get your database to 1,000 people on an average. Great stuff, Joellen. I love it. Looking forward to our event in Sacramento. Cortez, you had your hand, big dog. Cortez is currently, he's creasing his dickies, but he's going to take a quick break to share with us what's working for you, big dog. Let's hear from you, Cortez.
I actually had my hand rose for using next door, but I need to track better. That's what I will say. Just auditing myself. I don't track really well, but I do like have conversations and stuff, but I don't track well. And I do door knock. I door knock almost every day from 4 to 7. So I just don't track it. So I think that would be what I need to do moving forward.
Okay, cool. And so how can we better support you and help to hold you accountable?
You know what? I'm gonna get with Mike. That's my accountability buddy. I know he's going through something right now, but I'm just gonna get on it. We both been talking about it, so I'll just do that. And because I know how to use Sisu, it's just about me actually doing it.
Good. I love it. I love it, man. All right. So let's hear from, I want to go over to Jackie. Jackie, you've been using Sisu at a very high level. It was just announced this morning that you are going to be at our Hustlers Lunch. It's our very first Hustlers Lunch of the year. So I want to ask you, Jackie, as somebody that is newer in the environment, how has that helped you and what is working for you right now in regards to tracking?
Yes, so definitely I love the part where Sisu is linked to follow-up boss. So I kind of know that, okay, so how many messages I've been sending out, how many calls I've been making, how many conversations I've been having with other people. So I kind of see, okay, so right now I have about like 30 people in my follow-up boss that have been actively trying to follow up with. And a lot of them are in the pre-approval process, got them from either open house or leads. And yeah, it's been very helpful to see how much work I'm putting in. I usually work around, given the hours, around like 8 to 10 per day. But some days, of course, it's not all the day, but it's not every day that is like that. And I've been going to open houses every weekend, and that is also being inputted in my Sisu, except this weekend, I think we got canceled, but that's okay. We'll keep going next week. And based from the numbers, I'm seeing a lot of progress from my end. I have buyer's consultation booked, two buyer's consultation booked, and being in 1 month of this business. So I think it's a progress, right?
Yeah, and look at this, you guys. So there's obviously people at this company, but when you think about where she's at #1 for hours working on her business. So that means the behind the scenes things, the prep, the preparing, but the fact that she's tracking it, now she's able to look back and be like, wow, I'm actually making some progress. I feel good about my progress. And so it's really, really important when you think about like, how competitive am I and how repetitive am I? When I'm looking at this, let's just look at days tracked. And if you're a guest on this line and you don't have this, we can talk about that. But let's look at Adrian Reliza. So Adrian was in our, top producer category for the end of the year. She won an award for her video presence, and so on and so forth. Now, sometimes when you reach a level of success, you believe that you no longer have to, but I believe that the most successful people lean even further into tracking and measurement of their success because so they can constantly improve. So Adrian, I would love to hear from you, what's working, how you've taken action, and I would love for you to grab the mic. It's been a while since we heard from you. Adrian going once, Adrian going twice. Adrian is on mute. All right, we will come back to Adrian, but Adrian, can you hear me? Can you give me some sense of life there? Okay, all right. So you guys, who else? Who else wants to share something that's worked for them in this last week? A strategy, a campaign, something that's getting tons of hits and views and engagement on social media. Like there is 63 people right now in this room. I know somebody has taken massive action that they need to share with the world right now. So who else has something that they want to give to the group? Or are you guys telling me that nobody else on this call has taken any action in the last week? Because
Hey,
that's
Elias.
disheartening. What's up, Kim?
Hey, I have something to share. I don't want to put my camera on though. Is that okay?
It's okay, as long as you're all right.
Okay, thank you. I know you're talking about taking massive action within this past week, but I feel that it's also very important to take little action every single day consistently. Because I have been doing real estate for a very long time. And I feel like some weeks are harder than others, but as long as you keep on doing everything every single day to move the needle, you're not going to see it now. Like Joellen, she's been working so hard and now everything just come at one time. You can't give up because you said earlier, sometimes you feel like you just want to quit real estate. I've had that episode recently, but I just remind myself, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for a long time. Just keep on doing it. And I got certified as a military specialist years ago. A couple of different designations, and I kind of put it out there in the universe because real estate has not been the best for me lately. But I know that God, how do you say it? Everything happens for a reason. I feel like because right now I have a lot of physical pain.
Sorry to hear that. Are you okay?
Not really, but I feel like sorry. I posted something very vulnerable on social media, which is why I don't have my camera on. But I deal with chronic pain. But sorry, what I'm trying to say is you have to keep on pushing forward. You have to know your why. Regardless of how you feel, you have to be positive light and do it for your family. You just can't give up. So I prayed for like this past month I would get better, and I've been hustling in the background. I talked to you, Elias, about my game plan with the videos, and I said, God, please just give me one escrow right now. I need an escrow. I need to know that I shouldn't quit real estate because I know what I'm doing. Just give me something that says don't quit real estate. And I'm not even kidding. I had this guy message me on Facebook, and I get a lot of random messages, and you don't know if it's a real lead or if they just want to go on a date with you, or you just have to decipher all that. But he said, hey, I've been trying to find a realtor in the Fairfield area that is military certified, and then I ran across your profile and then found out you're a military specialist, and then went to your realtor.com profile, and then I went into your Facebook, and basically he stalked me. He like went every profile, and I was everywhere and anywhere that you can imagine. And he sent me the referral. He said the buyer's really upset, they are in escrow and they canceled and they need somebody that's going to take care of them. Can you please call them? So I called them for a couple of days and I couldn't get a hold of them. And I was very adamant on calling them. The husband was in Guam, the wife's stationed here at the air base. And when I talked to them, I can tell that they were really upset and hesitant to really even talk to me. And I said, listen, I'm here to help you. I don't know what you're going through with your realtor, but let me help you, because you shouldn't not buy a house because you've had shitty realtors. Anyways, make a long story short, one conversation led into me reassuring them that they should buy a house. And I wrote a contract. I did it very professional and high notes. I never even saw the property. Called the agent, had a conversation with him. It was very competitive. It's a beautiful home in Vacaville. And I submitted the offer. And then the realtor called me back. And he said, I'm so impressed with your professionalism and your offer and high note. I've never seen it before. I know that you're different than other realtors and we need more of you. And my seller is going to accept your offer. I mean, I've written offers before where they're accepted, but I've never negotiated for furniture for my clients. So I negotiated for the living room furniture, the kitchen furniture, the whole gym equipment, all inspections, just to tell the buyer that there's other realtors that will advocate for you. And they were like, wow, I never knew that. I thought all realtors were the same. And I said, no. So anyways, I got them the contract and I'm going to meet with the husband on Sunday. He's coming back from Guam. He said, he calls me sister in Vietnamese. He said, sister, can you please help my wife with the wire? She doesn't know how to do any of that. I take care of everything. I said, brother, don't worry. I got you. I will meet your wife at the bank. It's easy, you know, and for me to go, there's not a big deal. I brought her Starbucks. She likes the matcha latte. Brought that for her because first impression, I've never met her. I wrote an offer for $640,000. Okay. And she said, wow, you're so nice. I'm like, I'm not nice. I care. You know, you've been screwed over twice. And that's bullshit that realtors out there suck, but whatever. And I went in there, we had a conversation and she wanted to back out because the interest rate, she was paying $60 more than her last contract. And I said, listen, let me put things in perspective. You want to back over $60? I just negotiated your freaking whole like house furniture. Are you like crazy? And then she said, oh my God, you're right. I'm sorry. We're going to go forward. So she wired the deposit and we're going to close in 21 days. But
I love this.
I mean, this is the first time I've ever got a referral where I got online, closed it. I mean, not closed it. We're in contract, but I've never done it ever sight unseen, you know? So what I'm saying is you guys don't have to have a killer week and do something, but every single day you have to do something that sheds a positive light. And sometimes you're just updating stupid stuff in social media or your accounts. Make sure all of your profiles updated. You never know who's going to find you. This guy found me from Chicago because I said, how did you find me? I want to know, how did you find me? And he said, well, I don't know. He went on a tangent, but it's just, sometimes it's hard, especially like with my condition. I just want to just say, fuck this. And I'm going to have my husband take care of me. Well, yesterday we had a conversation. I had a breakdown. And he said,
yeah, I'm gonna play the, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry. Basically, he just told me to quit real estate and not work and he'll take care of me. Well, that's not going to happen. But anyways, yeah.
So Kim, here's the thing. You guys know Kim. She comes to our environment. She's a participant in ARIA. She, you know, shows up here in group coaching. I don't think any of us knew, right? And I appreciate you letting us in because you stayed strong no matter what, but then you were able to be vulnerable yesterday. I think there's a lot of power in that. So before we go on, before we say anything else, we just all, as a group, as a team, as individuals, as humans, want to send you love and light and let you know that you have tons of people that are here in your corner for leverage, for support, to be there for you. And there's a couple other things here that you can take away from this message, that each of us have an opportunity to really dial down into a specialty, right? If you live in Solano County, you have an ability to really be the people that help place the men and women of service in this country. That's a huge opportunity. Also, Kim said to me the other day, she's like, I have an idea. I'm like, all right, let me hear it. She's like, I already got it all mapped out. She's like, I want to create content in Vietnamese. She's like, I don't see enough of it. And she's like, I know people that are creating subpar content in Vietnamese that are getting amazing, amazing results because now she has found a niche and she's speaking literally the language of her people. And so she's got some really good things coming up on her plate, but way to negotiate for your client, way to follow through, and just good job, sending you light and love. And if you need anything, I'm here for you. Cortez, you had your hand up, and the Romel, I think I saw your hand up. Was that another hand, or was that another contribution, or a new hand? Cortez.
For me? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a new hand. All right.
What's
so
up?
the things that I have that's been going on this week. So next Monday, my lender partner came up on this thing where he's speaking in front of like this whole yard, construction workers in Sacramento, and he asked me to come. So I'm speaking on Monday with that. I'm throwing I just booked the space in Vallejo for another No Renter Left Behind seminar, March 25th. I had my first argument with a realtor yesterday. Like, we had like a heated negotiation. It was crazy, but I won. It really made me feel good. I called Otis because Otis is an arguer. He will get on a helmet of somebody, right? So I called him right after, like, bro, I had to tell her like it is. So we got all the repairs. We got everything done. I actually just got the papers to get that signed. And I got my first client from my first client that I ever did a transaction with. They referred me to someone. So we're actually out looking at houses too. So I had a great week, man. I really had a great week. And
Man,
it's been a long time coming.
I love it. I love the negotiation skills. I love the power of that, my man. So great job to you. Congratulations. I love it. Romel, let's go over to you. You had your hand up, big dog. What did you do? Let's talk massive action. Let's encourage and inspire others. Romel, let me hear from you.
Yeah, so this week I really buckled down with my calendar. I'm starting the fast pass, the 30-day to get myself fully engaged with the online leads. I put that off last year and just dug in over the weekend, laid out my calendar, really drilled down on how many hours a week I need to spend on my business so that I have some clarity. Before, it really just seemed I'm doing stuff, but it's not focused. So, I mean, on many levels, you know, Kim's testimony, it just hit me again and reminded me that it is about staying in the trenches and doing the little things that don't seem that big. And that's what I really focus on this week, is just getting my systems in place so that I have a real strategy on how I need to move forward. So blessings to you, Kim, and thank you for just reminding us that small actions lead to the massive actions. Stay in it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We all have goals, you guys. We always talk about it. The goals are your lagging indicator, right? That's that big number at the end of the year. The leading indicator is all the things that you do on the daily, the small things, the activities. So good stuff, Romel. Ophelia, I think 5 minutes ago, you had raised your hand. You wanted to chime in and then went down. So Ophelia, I know you're driving. What's your contribution?
Yeah, I just couldn't hit the unmute button. It was driving me nuts. So I've been taking massive action. I've been going out and about to the community, and just like him, she started realizing, it's like, hey, I can do content in Vietnamese. I started doing it in Spanish or Spanglish, and I realized that there is a gravitation towards people that translate. Right. So I've been going around businesses in my city, giving them the flyers. So tomorrow I have my first home buyer seminar, all in Spanish. And in doing that, I'm meeting people, I'm talking, and I'm actually Spanglishing. Basically, I'm starting in English and I end up in Spanish. I go back to English and I go back to Spanish. I kind of weave in and out because I'm not very fluent. It's very uncomfortable. But nevertheless, people are relating with me. And so in doing that, at first I was giving them out the card, and they're like, yeah, they were looking at it. But once I started really engaging with them, they're like, when is this again? I'm like, tomorrow, in 2 days, Saturday, be there, and we're going to have this, we're going to have fun, and joking around with people. I met another business owner. She really liked my vision that I didn't even know I had. It just kind of came out. And so I'm partnering up with her in future events.
Okay. All right, I'm going to let you guys in a little secret. Ophelia and I had a one-on-one coaching session a couple months back. We'll leave out any of the personal details, but one thing she did tell me was that she is scared sometimes of public speaking. She doesn't feel she's good at it. And anytime you guys have heard, is it true to say, anytime you hear Ophelia speak, y'all can relate to her, right? Like there's a sense of like, you speak well, you articulate well. I think you're a really good, but this is public speaking. But the fact that she said, you know what, no matter what, I'm going to go out and do events. Now she's doing an event in Spanglish. So it's like you're massive action in getting out in your community, but like shattering beliefs that you may have had about yourself, skills that you had. So mad props to you.
Thanks. Thank you. I'm super excited. I'm not going to say nervous anymore. So I'm super excited about tomorrow because, like, man, I got the jitters. I am really practicing my speech. I'm going over it because it's going to be in Spanish-ish. And
here's my recommendation to you.
wow.
All you do is memorize your first 3 minutes. I know what you're going to say, how you're going to open the room, get a couple people on your side, and then you run through bullet point style. I'm not going to script everything out. I'm going to do bullet points, but I know my first 3 minutes, I can say it verbatim. I know I could go back right now, you guys, and say the opening presentation from our year in review meeting, because I memorized the first 3 minutes. So go in there with fire, excitement, get everybody on your side, and you and your energy will take over from there. Your energy will take you through the entire presentation. So, Ophelia, I'm happy for you. I'm stoked for you. We see you shining out. So keep doing what you're doing, girl. Nick G, Mr. Momentum. Right. Mr. Momentum has a Doberman, and he's like, man, this thing bites. Growing up, my mom used to do a Hell's Angel, and his name was Bobby, and you'd hear him coming down with all his friends, like freaking Sons of Anarchy. He had a Doberman Pinscher named Caliber, appropriately. And I remember that dog bit everyone's ass in the neighborhood, and kids wouldn't even be able to sit on the bus because my dog, Caliber, bit everyone's ass. But anyways, that was our conversation yesterday. Nick, good to see you, big dog. Tell us, what's up, man?
What's up, my man? Yeah, my dog definitely bites, but he mostly bites like German Shepherds right now. He doesn't like them at all, but he's pretty legit. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to piggyback on something that Kim had said, which I think was real important, you know, and I'm going to share a quick testimony as well. But as far as having our own personal real estate profiles updated, and I think it's so crucial because, you know, I noticed that a lot of realtors, they don't have authentic profiles, stuff that's just personality.
Yo, Nick, really quick, do me a Nick.
I think sometimes some of the profiles out there.
Yo, Nick, cut your camera really quick because you're going in and out on the audio, and I want to make sure we don't miss this message.
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but cut your camera. It will be better quality.
Oh, cut the camera off.
Yep.
Okay, got it. So you guys can hear me better?
We can.
Okay, so like I was saying was I think it's really crucial that the profiles are set up more like in a way where it's just authentic, you know, because I feel like, you know, a lot of realtors profiles out there, they're so templated, and you're missing that, you know, golden opportunity to be genuine with somebody and just let them know the real you. For example, just recently, I just got a deal into contract, a Zillow Flex deal. I just met this person less than 2 weeks ago. And the main thing the reason why we connected was my Zillow profile. You know, I had just updated my high note as well. But the whole point is that there was something inside of my profile where I was able to connect with her based off of, you know, because I mean, I'm a Christian, whatever, you know, so I say, hey, I'm faith-based and stuff like that. And as soon as she saw that, she connected with me. And the only reason why I share that is because, you know, I literally just met her less than 2 weeks ago. She was an all cash buyer. She lives in a $5 million home right now in Menlo Park, across the street from Stanford. Now she wants to look at another property, you know, again, you know, so basically I just got her into contract for $830,000 all cash. You know, now she's looking at a second one for 1.3 all cash, you know, but the whole point is it was the fact that I connected with her on my profile. You know, it wasn't so much the fact that I was just another realtor. She basically stalked me as well. And we were able to connect with each other on another level. So I just kind of wanted to share that with everybody just because, you know, I feel like that's super crucial. You know, outside of that, yeah, you know, business has been pretty good. I should be like closing on like a little over $3 million in the next 2 weeks, you know, and these are just all little things that, you know, I do feel like, yeah, it's also what Kim said. It's those little things, those consistent actions, you know, that you might not understand at the very beginning, but eventually the fruits will definitely come. So everything that I'm doing now is based off of the work that I was doing in December and January and stuff like that. So I just kind of wanted to share that, you know, so I think that's very important for people to see. It's just, you never know. The business could take you in a whole nother direction, you know, so quickly. Because like I said, I didn't even know I just met this lady 2 weeks ago, and I almost did not pick up that call. I was in the middle of something and I almost didn't pick it up. But because I picked it up, 1 week later, we got into contract, and we might be getting into contract again. So that's kind of what I wanted to share with everybody.
I love it, Nick. I love the contribution. You guys, I think Nick brings up a really, really good point. So we're doing our social scope, our social investigation group meeting today here in Walnut Creek. And if you have the ability to come, make sure to come. So one of the topics, I'm looking at my notes for our session today. One of the notes is, how can people reach you and get an understanding of who you are? Do you have a link tree? Do you have a Koji? Do you have a milkshake? These are all platforms that you guys can create where people can simply get a sense of who you are, what's your bio, what's your background, what are your credentials, and how to book an appointment with you. Is there an easy pathway for them to know you, to understand you, and to be able to book an appointment with you? That's actually one of the things that we're going to be looking at during our social scope today. And then the last hour is going to be reserved for people to be able to take action on the things that we find or lack thereof in this meeting. So really good point there, Nick. Let's go to Adrian Reliza. She's back. She raised her hand. Good to see you, hon. How the hell are you?
Happy Friday.
Hey, you know what? Are you excited about Hustlers Lunch in your city?
Yes, I am.
Have you been there?
Hayward?
No, to the restaurant.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I haven't been there at all.
Cool.
No.
Awesome. So
but
what's up?
I'm excited. So I was just looking over my year last year, since we're talking about tracking, and all my deals were self-sourced. I didn't get any internet leads. I didn't pay out any internet leads at all. It was all self-sourced. And definitely it is about relationship building, getting out into the community, and just giving great customer service. A lot of my deals are from past referrals as well. So
Kimberly Lopez, can you put yourself on mute? I'm getting some background noise. Thank you. So every single deal that you got last year was an SOI deal.
Yes. Or it was an online lead that I got, and it was not an online lead where I had to pay like a Zillow lead or anything. It's a Google ad lead. So I was doing like local Google service ads. I don't know if everyone's on there, but you should create a profile. It's different from Google My Business. It's called local Google service ads. But anyway, so it's a profile where if someone Googles Union City Realtor, your name would pop up.
Love it. So I seen Cortez put something in there. Maybe we should do a workshop on this and making sure our VAs are auditing you guys, and we'll probably be in communication if you don't have your platforms updated. But maybe this is something in the meantime that you guys just really start to unpack. Right? Do you have a Zillow profile? Do you have a Google My Business? Do you have a local profile? Are you on Nextdoor? Do you have a Koji? Do you have a milkshake? Do you have a link tree? All these different things to make sure that the people have great ways to communicate with you, find out about you, and be able to do business with you. So Adrian, great job on an amazing year. It's good to see you. And yeah, to go back to your text message earlier. So she's thinking that she's not tracking enough, but you actually tracked the top out of 5 different categories. And so that's why you're at Hustlers Lunch, is because even if you're not doing it as much as you know that you can, your efforts are definitely not going unnoticed. And I'm sure that you're seeing that in your business. So you guys, let's just do a really quick recap. Some questions. Like I said, it is tax season, but it's also audit season for your guys' activities. Let's go back to these things. Audit yourself on these categories. How many videos have you made this year? How many calls have you made on an average? How many conversations, conversion? How many appointments have you gone on? How many doors have you knocked on? How many times have you worked out this year? I just threw one in there. How many times have you been hung over? How many open houses have you done? How many people have you put in your CRM? And last but not least, how many excuses have you made to yourself this year? Are you buying all the bullshit that you're selling yourself? Or are you actually doing something that is positive in your business and that's the story that you're buying? So you guys, really, really good job. Kim, once again, thank you for opening up. Thanks for being vulnerable. I really, really appreciate it. I want to go to a couple people, just hear a couple key takeaways from our time together today. We'll go to Maria, then I'll go to Dominique, and I might call on two other people, but Maria Dominguez, let's hear from you. Key takeaways from our time together today.
Wow. Kim had me all in my feelings this morning, and I'm glad, because one thing that I do appreciate is when someone is able to share a story and it allows other people to relate to that story and to know that we're not alone. Like this week has been a little bit challenging for me health-wise. And I kept thinking, I just got to shut it down. Like one day, just shut it down. And I did. And I appreciate that. And also the audit. I think in our mind, we either think that we're doing way more than we really are, or we think that we're not doing enough. So it is important for us to track. Like while we were having the meeting, I pulled up my follow-up boss because my goal is to hit 1,000 records. And my goal is to do 33 a day of new people to add. And so I'm a little behind, but I'm at like 700 records. So I know I'm doing well in that. I'm a little behind in the number of escrows that I wanted to be in by the end of this month. But you know what? I'm tracking. So I know that I'm doing the work. Maybe I'm just not focused enough on what's producing the right results. So again, it's the little steps every day. I mean, Brent Gove had this, you were there, you were speaking. It was like little fires make a big fire. And I think it's really important for us to, yes, see the end picture, but we have to realize in order for us to get to the end, we have to do the little things in between. And I think sometimes we forget that because we're busy. We're working on our business and we think we're doing something when we really need to be working in our business. So belly to belly contact. It's about the people. It's not about mapping, getting it ready, fixing to do something, producing something. It's actually about talking to people and getting it done.
You know, a lot of times, and I see it so much, you know, I've been in this game for a while. So many people are spending so much time getting ready. Like, hold on, you've been getting ready now for how long? Like, do something, go out there and meet some people, go and knock on someone's door. So I'm just going to pull this up. This is Maria's stats. This is from the beginning of the year until now. So she can look at this and be like, okay, I'm either not tracking, I'm tracking a lot, or I need to step up my game. I'm not having as many conversations as I want. And so let this be a mirror. Let this be a mirror to your own production and to your own business. And so, Maria, I appreciate you, appreciate your energy. Dominique, let's hear from you. Key takeaways from our session, and I'll have Melody close this out. Dominique, key takeaways.
Pretty much the audit. So keeping tabs on yourself is one of the best ways to know what you're doing and what you're not doing, and being honest with yourself at the end of the day by looking at those things. And that's why I like Sisu so much. You get to look at it and be like, oh, damn, I didn't do anything today. Or you're either going to say that or you're going to be satisfied with it. So auditing yourself, keeping tabs on what you do is like, I thought was a good takeaway from this. And then also the ability to get yourself on several platforms so that when people are searching for a real estate agent in your community or whatever, you're coming up on different platforms, and it makes it easier for somebody to contact you and learn more about you. So those two takeaways were key for me because I did fall off on Sisu the last few weeks, but you know, like as Kim too also hit home because, like, you know, Elias, I had kind of a medical thing I was dealing with the last few weeks, which I'm on the mend now. However, I will be getting back on Sisu now, which is why I loved the text message we got this morning. It was a blessing to wake up to and just kind of get you back on track. And so And again, I thank you for giving us this platform and always showing us love when you see us doing stuff good. So thank
Well, I
you.
appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. And I'm glad that you're going to be at Hustlers Lunch. There's such a new group of people there, and you
Awesome.
guys are really a corporation, right? Like, I got asked the other day by our leadership coach, Elias, how many recruiting appointments have you done? It is, it's been 2 months. And I could tell her that my number was over 40. So based on the amount of recruiting appointments that you've done, do you feel that you guys are in a really great position based on where you're targeted for the year? I'm like, I'm ahead of schedule. I'm ahead of schedule, right? And so it's like I'm tracking and I'm looking at all the things that I should be doing, coaching, one-on-one, recruiting appointments, leadership appointments, and I want to make sure that I am doing everything that I need to do as well. So when I'm telling you guys to track, it's not that I'm just like going about this business all willy-nilly and hopefully it all comes together. No, I'm super, super disciplined with the way that I track my business as well. So Dominique, I appreciate you. Melody Cleone and your baby bump. All right, so we're sending her a good juju. I mean, like weeks away from having her baby boy, right? Weeks away. All right, Melody, go ahead. Key takeaways from today and take us off the field.
Thanks, Elias. Yeah, happy Friday, you guys. One thing that I wanted to highlight is during this real estate coaching call, we have covered a lot of ground and shared some amazing insights and strategies. And I truly hope that everyone finds these calls as valuable as I do. I've been coming since 2020, and I still have takeaways from every single call that I attend. And I am so honored to be a part of this movement. And thank you to everyone that was willing to be vulnerable during this call. It's not easy to get on a coaching call with 70 people and be able to talk about what's going on in your personal lives and talk about your feelings and emotions. And so I commend you guys for that. To summarize, I think that we talked about how to improve lead generation, follow-up processes, and how to get into action. Elias just touched on just getting active and stop sitting on our laurels, waiting and getting ready to be ready. The importance of building strong relationships with clients and colleagues is, how we get out of bed in the morning. And it's one thing that's the most challenging and competitive in our industry. As agents, I think we have an opportunity to make a real difference in people's lives by helping them find their dream home or investment property. That's what we do. And I saw, Elias, you made a story about this the other day with your cute little new glasses on, by the way. I really like those.
Thanks.
This is rewarding and it's a fulfilling career, but it can be tough at times. And that's why it's so important to stay motivated and focused on our goals. One key takeaway from this coaching call is that success in real estate is all about mindset. We need to believe in ourselves and our abilities, and we need to be willing to put it in all the hard work and effort required to achieve our goals. So we need to be adaptable. We need to be fluid. We need to be open-minded and willing to grow and learn from each other. And as the industry continues to constantly evolve and change, we need to be able to do the same thing. So let's take what we've learned from this coaching call, put it into action this weekend. Let's commit to improving our lead generation and our follow-up processes and our systems and our skills. Let's build stronger relationships with our clients and our colleagues, and let's stay motivated and focused on our goals. So let's get out there and make some shit happen.
God, I have nothing more to say except for, as always, you guys keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision. Melissa Radke, you can stay on. You and I will connect one-on-one. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace.
Staying on.